Hello guys and welcome back to another Etheria restart video. If you're looking for a reliable way to farm Rengokutsu on Abyss difficulty, then this is probably one of the smoothest teams I've tested so far. What I like most about this lineup is that it doesn't rely on a single character carrying the entire run. Instead, every member is constantly helping the others, creating a team that gets stronger as the battle goes on. The team I'm using is Joan Lee, Plume, and Schwani, and it's been giving me a 100% auto success rate on Abyss difficulty. Let's break down exactly why this composition works so well. One thing I think a lot of players overlook in this dungeon is that simply bringing more damage isn't always the answer. Rengokutsu is much easier when your team can keep a steady rotation while constantly increasing its own damage throughout the fight. That's exactly what this lineup does. Every character is either increasing your damage, giving your team more turns, or making sure your DPS characters can continue attacking without slowing down. Once everyone starts working together, the fight becomes incredibly consistent. Let's start with Joan, because she's one of the biggest reasons these runs finish so quickly. She's an amazing damage dealer for longer fights, thanks to how often she can access her S3. Every time she uses it, you're not only dealing a huge amount of damage, but you're also pushing back the boss's turn meter. That extra turn meter control gives your entire team even more opportunities to attack before the boss gets another turn. The longer the fight continues, the more value Joan brings. And that's exactly what makes her such a perfect fit for this dungeon. Right beside her is Joan Lee, and I honestly think these two have some of the best synergy out of any DPS pairing in the game. Schwani is constantly triggering follow-up attacks throughout the battle, so she's contributing damage almost every turn, instead of only when it's her own turn. Those follow-up attacks also help Joan build her passive much faster, allowing her to spam her S3 far more often than she normally could. That interaction alone makes the team's overall damage skyrocket. But Joan Lee isn't just here to deal damage. She also provides an AoE defense up buff and a shield for your entire team, giving everyone extra survivability throughout the fight. That additional protection makes a noticeable difference during the boss's stronger attacks and helps keep the runs extremely consistent. Between her follow-up attacks, the synergy with Joan, and the defensive utility she provides, Joan Lee ends up doing far more than simply filling a secondary DPS slot. Then, we have Plume, and by now, she's become one of my favorite PvE supports in the game. Of course, Defense Break is a massive part of why she's here. Keeping that debuff active allows both Joan and Joan Lee to hit significantly harder throughout the fight. She also reduces enemy speed and gives your team even more opportunities to rotate before Rengokutsu gets another turn. As Curse Quill stacks up, your allies continue dealing more damage while also stacking speed down on enemies. That means your damage keeps increasing naturally as the battle goes on, while your team also cycles through abilities much faster. Finally, she applies Weakness, reducing the damage your team takes and making the run even safer. Plume isn't just enabling your damage dealers. She's making the entire team stronger every single turn. The final piece of the puzzle is Schwani, and I honestly think he's what ties this entire composition together. His vulnerable debuff increases the damage the boss takes, stacking perfectly with both Defense Break and Curse Quill. That combination allows your DPS characters to hit much harder than they normally would. He also advances the turn meter of your entire team, allowing everyone to get back to their strongest abilities much faster. More turns means more follow-up attacks from Joan Lee, more S3 casts from Joan, and more Curse Quill stacks from Plume. Everything starts feeding into each other. On top of that, his S3 strips enemy buffs whenever they appear, making sure the boss never gets to keep any annoying buffs that could slow your run down. He may not be your main damage dealer, but the amount of value he provides to the rest of the team is incredible. What really makes this team special is how every character contributes to the same game plan. Joan provides massive sustained damage while constantly pushing back the boss's turn meter. Joan Lee adds continuous follow-up attacks, helps Joan cycle into her S3 faster, and protects the team with defense up. Plume keeps the boss weakened through defense break, speed down, curse quill, and weakness, allowing your entire team to snowball throughout the fight. And Schwani keeps everyone moving faster while increasing the damage the boss takes and stripping away important buffs. When all 4 characters start feeding into one another, the dungeon becomes incredibly smooth to farm, and that's exactly why this setup has been so reliable for me. If you've built these characters already, I definitely recommend giving this team a try. If this guide helped you out, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more Etheria Restart content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.